Hello everyone, I'm Alex.
I'm Andy.
And today, on the newest episode of Do a Review, we're going to be reviewing two legendary platformers of the modern era, Astrobot and...
Metroid Prime 4.
No, it's not a platformer even.
Donkey Kong. Bananarama.
Bonanza.
Bonanza.
Yeah, the Nintendo game Andy's most excited to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So this came about, we're not going to get into it too much right now, we agreed, because Andy compares these two games. After playing both of them pretty in depth, I think that's an interesting thing to say. I do think it is fair to compare them in the sense that they are the two most recent 3D platformers from like the big titans of the gaming world.
Yeah. I mean, it helps that they came out kind of chronologically around the same time. But I think Astrobot, there was a lot of hype around it because the Astro's Playroom pack-in that came with it, like, I think turned a lot of heads when it came out. Rightly so. I think it's a great game.
Let's go chronologically and start with our review of Astrobot. So you guys don't remember, we review two games. We both give them a score. We average out our scores for each game. So that is democracy. That's how it starts. So join our budding nation on Patreon and like and subscribe.
Astrobot, it totally shocked me how good it was. I did not think I was going to be into this game. I did not think I was going to almost like 100% this game. Like, it gets really, really hard at like some of the final things that you need to do to fully complete the game are really hard, but in like a fun way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like, it's definitely like Sony's love letter to all things Sony. I thought the first Astro's Playroom, I thought the love letter to the hardware, all the Sony hardware, was way more interesting than what they do in Astrobot, which is kind of like paying homage to all the Sony intellectual properties. Like, I don't really care about Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever, but that's cool.
That one specifically.
Beyond that, like, the platforming is so like tight and amazing. The controls are so good. And the levels are like perfectly engineered. The pacing is great. Like, everything about it is just like, it's like pure bubblegum in a video game in like the best way possible.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think also it is interesting what you said about kind of like how it was branded or just like what it was celebrating. Because I did have the thought during playing the game, like, I do kind of wish it was just like a Little Big Planet game or something. Like, they didn't need to go make a whole, it'd be like if Nintendo released like their greatest platformer of all time and it was about some guy named like Flumpus the dog or something. It's like, you could have made this Mario.
Right. I mean, it definitely feels more awkward because the properties in the game are not as beloved and like storied as Nintendo's
I think like
IP.
The second level was like Jammer Lammy or something, and I was like, it's cool, but I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that we're already that deep.
There's some that work and some that don't. Like the Ape Escape stuff, I think works really well.
That level was actually so fun.
It was good. But like God of War seems a little like forced.
Yeah. I mean, I did end up liking the Horizon Zero Dawn level.
Those are cool. I
I
really love like bow and arrow mechanics in games when it's done really well.
Yeah.
And there's been enough of those now that you should be able to make a decent bow and arrow game. But it actually kind of made me want to play the actual Horizon Zero Dawn game if that game actually has that type of controls.
Yeah.
I don't know if it does because I never played it.
It did. I did find myself considering giving it a chance, to be honest.
Right.
Obviously, the biggest cameo in the game was Loco Roco. It's so cool that it got like an entire level.
When that came out, I almost called you and I was like, Alex, there's a Loco Roco level in this game.
I was so hyped. I mean, I get it because it's like each of the like worlds you go to is supposed to be one of the systems. So that's how Horizon Zero Dawn gets in because of PS4, and that's how Loco Roco gets in because that like kind of was their flagship game on the PSP. Patapon was also there, but they didn't get their whole level. And also, I didn't love the branding of it all the way through. The collecting was fun enough, though, that I think it kind of excuses it. And also, the ending scene was also kind of sad. It was cool watching all the Loco Rocos fly up to me on a PSP. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, the final level, are you talking about like the shooter?
Yeah. The boss where you're all like, it's kind of like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird ending to like a platforming game.
Yeah.
But it is definitely high energy and your blood's pumping and you're like ready to do it. And it's a fairly easy game.
Yeah.
So the stakes are pretty low.
Yeah, true.
Like you're going to probably get through it. What really surprised me was that the collecting was fun because I usually hate collecting anything in a game, but it didn't feel like obligatory. It just felt more purposeful, less obligatory, more purposeful, but not just in a way like that's like what you're doing. I can't really describe it. It was kind of a weird kind of formula. That
No, the levels were brief, kind of, but they were like dense. Like it was never like I was super far in a level and was like I need to just get this over with. It was always like I was having fun the whole time because I was thinking about it, like when you do go through the levels, especially the first time, they take a bit. Like they take probably like 20-ish minutes, I'd say. But in reality, it's like 3 or 4 rooms you're actually going into.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot to do in each one. So you're always like trying to explore the ability to its fullest potential.
Yeah, the levels are great. The levels I didn't like were kind of the more open world ones where you kind of start out in kind of like a more open environment and then progress, or ones where the whole thing is kind of in that. You wouldn't think I usually would not choose a linear like platforming path through something, but I felt that actually worked better than the ones where you're like, I don't know, like trying to save the sick volcano. Well, I liked the sick volcano level. There was another level, the genie level with in the sand, like the beginning like sand bit. I didn't really like that. I'm getting very nitpicky. Most of the levels were like small.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like they were firing in all cylinders for all the levels. It felt like
when you turn into a mouse, those are my favorite.
That one was tiny. Fun. They only do that one once, I feel like, right?
No, they do. There's like 3.
Okay.
There's like 3 of those.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. I don't know. It doesn't happen much. Like it would have been nice to have that a bit more, but it was super memorable.
Yeah. No, I think I've only played one of the levels that it did because I beat the whole like main story, but I haven't gotten everything. But yeah, I didn't spend much time with the mouse, to be honest.
I mean, I think the bosses are also really memorable. I think it's easy to look at it and see it as like a Sony, like a love letter to Sony. I don't know how else to say it, but what it really is, I think, is like a master's class in everything we've learned about how to make a platforming game, which I think is why it's so important. Because I love like when people talk about the original Super Mario Brothers and level like World 1-1, where it's like everything you need to know about how to move Mario and go through the game you learn in the like first sequence where you like jump over the Goomba and hit the brick and then go on.
Yeah.
But it's like everything we've learned about bosses, like the game doesn't say, all right, you need to hit this boss 3 times, but we all know by now, if we've played enough times, like it's probably like 3 times and it'll go into the next phase or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like all those little things that we've all collectively figured out together in games. It has all those, and it's done so perfectly that it doesn't really have to hold your hand. You just know what to do. And that's, I think, the best game design you can ever have.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's very like trademark Sony in the way, like modern Sony at least, in the way that it's like very maximalist, just like they really squeezed everything out that they could with this concept. They've used it mostly for evil in the past, like Uncharted and Last of Us and stuff, like, you know, just making these super involved like set pieces for whatever, the same game we've all played 100 times that I've never played actually. But we're probably going to rate this game within the next like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to give it, because it is extremely fun. It's not going to be below an 8, but like it's an extremely fun game. But I don't know, there is like kind of a stench to the Sony style where it starts feeling like a Drake album or something. Like you get the sense that it's like, you know, 500,000 people worked on this to make the best possible product. And sometimes I like a sloppy little indie game, you know?
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. And I mean, I think that was part of the charm of the original, like Astro's Playroom, because it was, no one thought it was going to make a splash at all because they gave it away for free with a PS5. Like, that's crazy. So, I mean, it definitely did. I definitely agree with what you're saying. I mean, I do think there were like some half-baked parts of it. Like there's like a world you can go and take photos of like animal robots and things. Like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in that area.
Yeah.
There was like some weird, I had it like day one because my daughter and I had played Astro's Playroom and we were like ready for it.
Yeah.
There was like some weird like things that they patched out of it like later on. Like there were places where you could also take photos in levels, but it didn't actually tell you how to like do that or what. And then like later on there was a little more guidance with stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that they did try to refine it a bit, but none of those things made it like whimsical or fun more so than the other stuff.
Yeah. It's no Chow Garden.
But the power-ups are awesome. Like, I don't know, like some of the power-ups are some of the coolest power-ups I've ever played in a game. Some of them I did not like to do that much, but some of them were really good.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know, they found good ways to use the metal ball one. But
the metal ball was one of my favorites.
I think it works well, but it's just kind of...
It's it's not very imaginative.
Yeah.
But it does. They utilize it very well in the levels.
Yeah.
But I think that's like one of those things that's like where the game is just so like on the nose that it's like you turn into the metal ball, which makes you heavier, so you can like launch yourself onto things, and then physics does its thing. But it also is like, oh, well, I wonder if I'm also impenetrable when I'm the metal ball, and sure enough, you are.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that I think are really smart.
Yeah. No, the game will explain things to you when it needs to. Like, it has some sensor of like you've like punched this flower too many times and you don't get what's happening. Yeah. That it'll give you a little pop up. But it is cool that the game design like doesn't hold your hand by default like that. Like, this is really for hardcore gamers. No, but like it is like what you were saying though. Everything is just so intuitive, and they know it's so intuitive that like they know they don't have to shove a tutorial in your face of like, this is how to jump. Like,
right.
You get it, and you just kind of automatically figure things out. This game did make me feel sort of smart.
Which again, I think is a testament to its game design.
Yeah,
because I was playing with my 7-year-old daughter, and she also felt smart playing this game.
Nice, yeah, we're probably similar levels of intelligence.
I don't know. There's like some really beautiful set pieces. I mean, I was never a fan of any of those other games you mentioned, Uncharted and Last of Us and blah blah blah.
Besides Loco Roco. But.
Yeah, the only thing more like salt in the wound with the Bloodborne stuff, because you're never gonna get Bloodborne 2.
Was it Sony make that?
They own the IP somehow.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like Octodad was in this game somehow. So
right,
it seems like they just kind of brought some DLC or something in.
What was your favorite power up?
Favorite power up?
What was your favorite power up and your least favorite power up?
I'm a sucker for the kind of physics the chicken has, where you're like, you just kind of do one explosive. I don't know, for some reason those are it's very satisfying for me to pull that off.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I like the gimmicks they did a lot with the slow-mo ones. Like, it's cool.
The slow-mo one was awesome. I loved all those like levels where everything is moving so fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's one of those things where it's like tricking you into feeling smarter than you are, because you're like, there's no way you can get past this. So it's just going like 100 times faster than it normally should. But I thought those were really smart. I really liked the kind of like horror spooky levels that had like the light, the parts in the game where you had to like kind of like light a path type of thing. I thought those were really fun too.
I don't know. The metal ball one was kind of boring, but I do like how they ended up using it.
I thought the bubble, like the cow with the bubble. Yeah. Like, I never quite mastered that, how to do that.
Well,
so that's my least favorite.
I don't know. The internet, I can't look at people inflating that way because of the internet. It freaks me out now. I've seen too much.
You've seen too many inflated people.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even want to know.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you'll just have to trust me on that. But I don't know. Mechanically, that one was kind of fun, I guess. It was fine.
Was it I don't even remember what it was. It was a jellyfish or a cow? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think it was a jellyfish.
Jellyfish, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't remember. That's how bad it was. I don't remember what it was.
Wiped it from your mind. I think we get to our ratings for Astrobot.
I think you're right. It can't go lower than an 8. I really, really love it, but I do think there's something to be said about like, Sony had like 5,000 people working on this, and I don't know, who knows what the budget was and whatnot. So it was going to be good. But I think I'd put it at 8.
I'm realizing last time, I'm pretty sure I gave Sonic and Shadow Generations a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Which honestly could be fair, but I need to go back and play it more. And like, truly, I don't feel like it's a 9.5 out of 10 in my head right now.
Yeah, it's a solid 6 game.
Really? Okay. I don't know.
I ranked it.
You did. You probably gave it like a 7. I will give Astrobot.
Wait, because you think this game is worse than Sonic and Knuckle?
No,
Sonic
I think it's
Shadow Generations.
I think maybe it's better, but I might like Sonic Shadow Generations more.
Just because you like Sonic.
Yeah. All right. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think mechanically, gameplay-wise, this is one of the most fun games I've played in a long time. Like, I started playing it a week ago for this video, and I've beat it since, which I don't usually do that. I tend to get distracted and stuff. So, yeah, it did hold my attention. It's a lot of fun. But there is something to be said for, I don't know, I wish it was Little Big Planet. If it was the same exact game, but you were Sackboy, I'd probably be giving it a 10 right now.
Interesting.
It feels a little too maximalist. So it didn't, like, charm me in the same way.
So it's 8.25.
Yeah, the official Materia score for Astrobot is an 8.25 out of 10. It is better than the Patrick Star game. Okay.
Barely.
I think it's pretty significant. I think I gave the Patrick Star game
significantly better than the Patrick Star game.
Yeah. That's for sure. But yeah, very good game. Let's get on to Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Wow, the biggest disappointment of 2025 for me.
That's what they've been calling me, actually. But
as like a Switch 2 exclusive, I don't know. There's a lot of comparisons you could make. I mean, I think we should mostly talk about like the actual like gameplay, but I do think it's weird that it's still the only must-have exclusive title on the Switch 2. I mean, is anyone really playing Mario Kart World if you're not like just a competitive Mario Kart fiend of some kind? I'm just so used to Nintendo being the one who is being innovative, and there's definitely some innovative stuff in this game for sure. But I just felt like there were things the game was doing that felt like other people did it better.
Yeah. It's too like cutesy of an idea to ever be like a real system seller. I do think they do well with the gimmick. Like, I think, there are parts where, like, this soft material will only, like, bond with this material, or, like, you have to throw ice over the lava to make it hard so you can walk over it.
Right.
So, like, they do... It isn't just, like, I'm big and I'm smashing through the earth the whole time. They find ways to be like, all right, obviously, movement... There isn't many, like, platforming challenges in this game.
Right, which kind of surprised me. They focused really, really hard on figuring out how to make you be able to go in any direction at any time without, and then not getting like lost, which is a incredible feat.
Yeah.
Because there's times where I'm just like, how did I actually understood everything I just did. That makes no sense. So that was pretty, I feel like there's definitely some phenomenal, like groundbreaking like game physics stuff happening that is just beyond my knowledge. But
yeah.
But it didn't have a lot of platforming in it.
No.
Which was weird.
Yeah. Like, this is... I don't know. I think I alluded to this a little bit in the beginning of the video. It's more almost of a sandbox game than it is a platformer.
Yeah.
Like, I'd almost be more comfortable comparing it to, like, Breath of the Wild than Astrobot.
Yeah.
No, I'm half kidding, but not really.
No. Which is so... I think that's what makes it an interesting comparison, because it's the whole Nintendo versus Sony thing. Because the original Mario Brothers, like, that's... the beginning of like platforming. That's the beginning of this story that Astrobot is the conclusion of.
Yeah.
And then you have, the A-team at Nintendo developing this other game for Donkey Kong, which is a franchise that even was before Mario. And it's like, I don't know, there's just so many different like plot points you could point to. All of that. And it's just like, and it's beautiful also. And it flushes out some Donkey Kong lore. Like all these other things that we all get in the weeds about with Mario and Zelda and Metroid and all that. Like here it is with Donkey Kong. And it's a beautiful game also, but it's just, there's like magic that's missing. And somehow Sony had that magic in Astrobot, which makes no sense because who gives a shit about Astrobot? He's just a generic look. It's like you said about Sackboy. If it was Sackboy, you would have cared more, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, no, it's not like, it doesn't like bookend the story of Donkey Kong starting platforming that well. Like, I feel like this game's positioning doesn't do it many favors. If it was released like a year and a half earlier as just like a late era Switch game, everyone would be like, this is such a fun game. But it has Donkey Kong has the world on his shoulders. And it's not easy being Donkey. Maybe it's just the different play styles, but I feel like this game's significantly longer than Astrobot. And if it was as long as Astrobot and just like dialed down to the, I don't know, 20 or 15 to 20 best hours of it, I'd say they probably maybe would be in the same conversation, but somehow this game's like 40 or 50 hours long, it feels like, and there's like a ton of stuff in it.
Yeah, and I think it the way the level design kind of hurts it, where Astrobot is like the levels are so dense and compacted in what you're doing, even though it is just like 3 rooms. The levels that you're, like the actual levels vertically that you're in this game, they don't feel, there's nothing compelling like pulling me through, like wanting to keep going, other than that's the point of the game, is to just keep going. You just gotta keep going, yeah. And the levels almost feel like procedurally generated, which maybe, I mean, I read nothing about how they developed this game. It kind of reminds me of another Nintendo game I hate from a beloved franchise, which is Skyward Sword. Uh-huh. In the way that, I don't know, just the gimmick of it overrode the level design itself.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I haven't played Skyward Sword, but I've heard about it. Yeah,
You've never played a Zelda game.
I've played some Zelda games. I've never played more than 3 hours of a Zelda game. Except for Breath of the Wild, which I've played maybe 10 hours of.
All right.
They put enough stuff in the ground that when you're smashing around, it's like satisfying, I guess. But it's not like there's too much like bread in this cake or something.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, that stuff's all in the ground, but it's like, do I need it all?
Yeah, I don't know what gold even does besides you can build an apartment that I haven't. I think I'm pretty close to beating this game. I've never slept once at one of those little places.
The skill tree is a nice part of it because I don't know, but then it's like the skill tree really is only helping you transform the world, or I don't know, like
yeah,
it's the skill tree doesn't help you like defeat enemies so much as it is about like you traversing.
The skill tree could have been cool, but I think it very easily could have been replaced by them just periodically giving you new abilities.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, now's the time I need to be able to fling a rock around like a helicopter, and I'm going to unlock the fling a rock around like a helicopter thing. They could have just like, you don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
They're a part of the gimmicks that work really well, and I think overall this game is fun. Like, I'd been in a like kind of a gaming slump for a while, and this was the game where it was like just like mindless fun enough that it kind of sucked me back into video games. So I'm forever grateful to Donkey Kong for that. But
this game turned me off to video games.
You quit.
I quit.
Everything that's the force or whatever. This isn't like a perfectly designed game or anything. I think it's a charming attempt. It shouldn't have been their like launch title for the Switch probably, but it's fun enough, and it's cool. Donkey Kong, like, if my options were have this game or not have this game, I'd rather have it. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. There's something off.
Donkey Kong is such a really cool franchise. I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for the Donkey Kong Country series, but Donkey Kong 64 really was horrible.
Well, I think actually that's a good one to bring up, because I feel like this kind of has a lot of the same issues where it's like, Donkey Kong 64 is like notorious for having like 10 billion different collectibles.
Right.
But like the world itself, it's like, you know, there's too much of it.
Right.
And you don't want to do all that. I feel like I kind of feel a very similar way about this game, I think.
Yeah. Like I definitely think the world was and is ready for the next iteration of Donkey Kong.
Yes.
But I don't know if this is it. But it does make sense, like, when you look at like the literal like things that Donkey Kong did in the very beginning in the arcade games and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a fitting game for him, I'd say. Also, like the other transformations you end up getting are not as consequential as like just being the big guy and smashing harder. Like that is really what the game's all about. I don't really care about running a little faster. Like that's only helpful for those specific things you have to run over.
Yeah.
And even the flight is like not huge. I don't know. It just doesn't feel it's better than the running fast, but it's not as good as the being big and smashing stuff. And also, why did they not make that transformation when you are fast like a donkey? Because you're Donkey Kong and it's a zebra. They could finally address all the allegations of why isn't Donkey Kong a donkey, and they didn't do it.
No one wants to be a donkey.
That's true. It's a hard life.
I don't know. It's weird how there's some games that just get annihilated by people. And I think there's a lot of problems with this game, but I just felt like it was people's game of the year. And I don't know. Just didn't make any,
I mean, I don't
sense.
really see people saying that. It was one of the options at Game Awards or whatever. But I don't even watch that because it seems like kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I'm too cool for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is the real Game Awards.
That's right. Yeah.
What's your out of 10 official Materia rating?
I give it 4 bananas.
Out of 10 bananas?
Out of 10 bananas.
Okay, that's pretty harsh. I'll give it a much higher score.
I did not like it more than Sonic X Shadow.
That's true. And I think you gave that like a 7. No, okay. I need to retcon. I gave Sonic X Shadow a 7.5, okay? I'm going to give this game a 6 out of 10. It is fun. Like, genuinely, it's a fun game. It's just, there's nothing that shocking about it, and it's definitely too long. They should have cut out a lot of the smashing stuff.
But it did pave the way for Team Sonic to make a game like this in the future.
What do you?
They just rips off of it.
They copy them.
Yeah.
Like a Knuckles game.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they
I
could.
guarantee you, there's gonna be a Knuckles game.
I mean, hey, we have to do next duo review is Mario Kart World and the Sonic Racing.
Sonic Racing. All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's an option. So the official Materia score for Donkey Kong Bonanza is 5 out of 10. that simplifies to 1 out of 2 is worse than the Patrick Star game. I think that's the first game we've reviewed that was worse than the Patrick Star game. No, Sonic Frontiers is a little worse than it. Someone do their
Sonic
ranking.
Frontiers. I like Sonic Frontiers way better than Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Okay, that's no. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think, is a little bit better. Okay, sure. So thanks for watching. Vote in the comments below. What should we review next? Or tell us anything you want us to do for a video, and we'll think about it. Game on. And join our Patreon. Thank you.